answer any questions that you may have about that. So you
Okay. My name is Arlie today. I'm with Mastry Engine Center. Last 2 or 3 years, we've come and talked to you guys about diesel engines and Tier 4 technology and what's coming down the line. This year, I got a little something different. We've been working to find propane and natural gas engine company to partner up with because we're getting more and more requests for propane and natural gas as the Tier 4 diesel engines are getting more and more expensive. We partnered up with SRC, which they're there today. Not to steal his thunder, but when we were looking for a propane natural gas line, we were looking for something heavy duty. In our research, we found a lot of companies that were taking automotive engines, putting propane or natural gas to them and putting them out in the ag market. Those engines really aren't geared for that application. There's some major differences in setting it up, which we'll go through here. The main thing to remember when we were looking was in your truck, you're driving down the road, you've got a transmission changing gears, and it's not as much of a load to keep that truck going down the road once you get it started. So, but when you're pumping water or you're doing electricity, it's a heavy load. And we came from the boating industry. Mastry's been doing marine products since the 70s. And we've seen a lot of guys take an automotive engine and try and marinize it without beefing up the products that need to be enhanced. And it's the same thing as pumping water. When you're running a prop through the water with an engine, it's under heavy load the entire time the boat is running. So it's a little bit of a different application. So when we started doing our research to find a propane natural gas line, we came across SRC and liked what they were doing as far as putting heavy duty applications for the automotive engines. And they've been big in the natural gas, oil and gas industries, which require a heavy duty load. So when we decided to partner up with those guys, we want to offer new market ag product that we feel comfortable with, that if you buy it and you're going to put a pump out there, it's going to run for a long time. We've done some other brands, and they're okay if they're standby and they run 10 hours a week. That's not what you guys do. You're pumping, you're pumping. So I invited Alan from SRC to kind of give you a little history of SRC and what they do, and then we'll go through the engines, and then we actually have a propane council quasi rebate program available for you with propane engines. So I don't know how much propane you guys are doing up here, but we used to get 1 or 2 calls a year. Now we're getting 2 or 3, 4 calls a month. So it's a viable option for you guys to look at versus the cost of a Tier 4 diesel engine. Don't get me wrong, I'm a diesel engine guy. I like my diesel engines, but they are getting more expensive and they're getting more complicated. And propane natural gas, I think, is going to have a place. And I think as natural gas gets spread out throughout the country, it'll have a bigger place in the market. Right now, we're focusing on propane because in our area, there's not a lot of natural gas. Any of you guys have natural gas right out in your farm? Yeah, one, maybe 2. It's not as big as it is in the Northeast or out in the Midwest. But it is available. Both these engines are available in propane and natural gas. I just wanted to point that out. Down
All right, again, introduction, I'm Alan from SRC. We're based out of Springfield, Missouri. SRC was originally founded as we were an international harvester remanufacturing facility. What happened when the company first got founded, International Harvester was going out of business. So a lot of employees were about to lose their jobs. Well, CEO Jack Stack, he was an employee at the time, and him, along with several other employees, pulled together some money, bought the company, and then turned it into Springfield Remanufacturing. So the first SRC's been around for over 30 years, and we've been doing, like I said, remanufacturing engines, and as well as making industrial power units. We're under a corporate umbrella of SRC Holdings. I got several different divisions. Each of them all do different functions. We have the heavy duty division, which is the original. It does the diesel engines, and other components. We got SRC Automotive that does, who provides the gasoline engines like the ones that we have with us. We have power systems that's actually the company that packages to make it into a power unit, along with several others that are in the industry. So we're very big in the automotive industry for over several years. SRC Power Systems was shortly founded after the original SRC. It's a very engineering-minded company that created these, that designs in the oil, gas, construction, irrigation. So we've designed, or we've built more than over 60,000 irrigation power units since the time we founded. And we've done a lot of stuff with the big OEMs like CNH, IPU, Isuzu. Some of the names you're probably familiar with came out of the facility. And again, just a little bit more background of just where we come from and the resources that we have that go into making these products. All of our products that we do sell are EPA certified, so that way that the products that we send you that you put out in your field are compliant with EPA regulations. The same, as the Tier 4 diesel, so that you don't have to worry about getting them certified or up to speed. They're ready to go out of the gate.
Quick point on that. There are companies out there that are building non-certified propane and natural gas engines for cheaper. And there is a loophole in the law that says you can sell it to the farmer, but then you guys are responsible according to the EPA on either monthly or quarterly or yearly basis for fuel consumption, how much emissions you're putting out. So Mastry's decided we're not going down that route. We're not going to put it your responsibility. And they won't really tell you that. No, it's fine. You just got to fill out a couple pieces of paper and send it in. I don't know about you guys, but I don't really want to put on EPA's radar at all. So just be careful when you're looking at that. That's when we found these guys who say, I only want EPA certified product.
One of the benefits of being a large company like we are is that our engines, the engines that we make and that we build are GM engines, but we are the OEM Tier 1 manufacturer for GM for the last 30 years. So it's the stuff we're building, the stuff that goes into our product is the same stuff that General Motors is out there putting in, in pickup trucks or the other aspects of the industrial market. So we built over 20,000 engines and 50,000 cylinder heads, components for GM, Mercury Marine, Harley, and other names in the industrial markets. GM does utilize us to build 100% of their non-production 5.7 liters that do not come out until Liquid Mexico. So a lot of, like I said, a lot of stuff that GM comes from, we're behind the brand. So a lot of the stuff you don't realize that comes out of our factory. And we also do all the warranties for GM as well. So anything that's been out that comes back, we do the analysis, repairs, and then get it back up and going and returned into the application. And the warranty return rate on the product that we build is less than 2%. One of the benefits of the engines that we build is the heavy-duty cast iron industrial cylinder heads. Some of the propane engines that are built use aluminum heads, which is fine in regular gasoline application. But when you get into high temperatures, the propane puts off the exhaust temps. It has a tendency to warp the heads over a period of time, which then again you'll be replacing heads and then other components as the engine wears. That's kind of one of the benefits of getting something that's a little more durable. And this just goes in to show the little differences between industrial head, that's a little more heavy duty, versus the just the regular factory head that would be on your just on like a regular pickup truck. So there's a little bit of difference on how it's machined and how it's put together to allow for that extra heat, for that extra stress being under the load. So you got two different sides. You got your intake and then your exhaust portions of the head. And it gives you the measurements on the machine a little different. So that gives you that extra durability, like I said, to withstand the heavy load in the application. One of the other transitions is when you're going into propane versus regular gas is cryo treats the cylinder head. Basically, all this does is a coating to protect against those high temperatures. That way, they'll withstand a longer amount of hours. So we do go through the process of how they're treated, just all the details that go along with that. Like I said, and then again emphasizes on cryogenic is the best treatment for dry fuel like propane. You don't have that extra lubrication in your fuel, so this just extends the life and then helps it keep it going longer. So here's the incentive program that Arlo was talking about with it's a company, they're called PERC, it's the Propane Education and Research Council. What they do is they're trying to get incentives for farmers to run these propane units and get feedback on them. So what they've been doing is they'll say, hey, if you buy a new EPA certified propane unit, we will give you so much back just for your input. So right now, the incentive has been $300 per liter, and it's just a simple process where you just fill out a form, submit it to them, they review it, and then they'll send you your money, and then that's it. And then after the first year of running it, they just show you a form where you get feedback. What was the application? How long did you run it? What are the things you liked? What you didn't like? And that's pretty much it. And what they do is they use this information for marketing material, and they use live side-by-sides of propane engines sitting right next to diesel engines. Okay, how much more efficient was it? How much fuel did it burn? What's the cost differences to run a propane versus a natural gas? So any information or anything you see on any of these other slides related to cost savings came from research that came through these programs like this, from real live applications. Here's a copy of the form that gets filled out. You can either go online and fill it out, or we can print them out. If you buy an engine, we can give you a form and you can mail it in. Really easy to do. You've got your name, address, all that on there. And it just asks, where's the application? Is it irrigation? Is it going on a generator, forklift? What type of farm do you have? And then there's a few questionnaires. So it's only, I think, 14 questions. And you just check a couple boxes off, yes, no, and then sign the date and turn it in. There's no other questions asked. So we have a wide range of EPA certified power units that will fit just about any application you guys have. So we started from the low end of 75 horsepower all the way up to 300 horsepower continuous. We've got several options that you can order with these. You can see they come in with like a full 3/4 enclosure, protects against the elements. You can set it out in the middle of the field, don't have to worry about putting a shed over it. I know some people, you may already have a shed or carport type setup out there. We can also sell it without the enclosure, where it's just an open unit, and save a little bit of money. Clutches are optional on there. A lot of people want the clutch on there. Some will just bolt straight up to the flywheel. Here's a really good option that's a good bang for your buck. It's a lubrifiner oil filter, which is a little gray canister that you'll see on the side of the unit. What this does is it extends your oil life. So instead of changing it every 250 hours, you're only changing it 750 to 1,000 hours. And most times that'll get you through the whole season without having to do the maintenance. So what it is I wish I had a picture of it right here. It's on the other side of the unit. But what it is, it's a 3-gallon capacity of extra oil, and it has a big filter in there. And like I said, that's what helps extend the life of it.
There is one out on the unit.
Correct.
Outside,
yes.
so you can see it.
So yeah, you'll see it looks like a big gray canister, and you wonder what it is, but it's just an extra oil filter, and then it just that helps you, so you have less downtime. You can have something that out there running. You don't have to worry about, turn it off, doing maintenance. You can do maintenance at the end of the season, when everything gets slowed down. A few other extra options, like a lockable battery box, if you have problems with that. We sell a box that does lock. And then adjustable leg kit is they mount onto the sides of the skid. And then, so if you have a pump that's a little bit higher and you need to figure out how to get that power unit to line up, straight on the drive shaft, you can just put that kit on there and you can slide the legs up and down and then line it up where you want. Somehow I clicked off of this. Hit the wrong button. There we go. And then one of the other options, we can also do telematics on here. It's kind of similar to some of the earlier presentations where we saw, where you can get basically remote monitoring systems. Where you can see, is the engine running? It is. How many hours is on it? Is there any, faults that are present that need to be checked? So that way you can tell, right from your phone, if everything looks good, and then if you need to go check on your engine. So this is what we have. This is the kind of entry level on the size-wise power. So this is a GM 5.7, which is if you're familiar with the old GM engines, it's a 350 cubic inch diameter small block Chevy. 75 continuous horsepower at 1800. So if you need the full 75, it's there. If you do less, that's the one good thing about propane engines is it's always good to oversize them, and then if you're not working them 100%, it's not gonna damage the engine. Whereas it would, like on a Tier 4 diesel, if you don't run it hard enough, you have more chances of creating problems. And the approximate fuel consumption on this is around almost 6 gallons an hour of propane at full load. So a rebate like this would qualify for around $1,700. So if you bought this unit brand new, you fill out the form and then send you a check for $1,700 back in the mail for buying this one. Some of the other sizes that we offer is 7.4, which a lot of you may remember the GM 454. Those in a lot of the pickups. This is 100 continuous horsepower, 1800 RPM. Approximately around 8 gallons an hour propane at full load. A unit like this would qualify for a little over $2,000 in incentive money. Like I said, that's just money that goes straight into your pocket just for filling out a questionnaire and giving them information. And then we got the 8 liter, which is basically the 454 that's been bored and stroked. That's 488 cubic inch. 120 continuous horsepower, and a little over now, almost 10 gallons an hour propane on full load. This unit would qualify for $2,400 in incentive money. So you can see as the bigger the power goes up, the more money back that they will give you on these. And then we also have an 8.8, which is a engine that SRC put together. It was based off the GM 8.1 architecture. We created something just made a little bit bigger to fill a gap in power range. This one will do 140 continuous horsepower at 1800 RPM. And it's almost about 11 gallons an hour propane that it consumes. A unit like this, $2,600 in incentive money. And then the big one, we got the 13 liter power unit. I don't know. There's many applications out here that would need this, but if there is, this would be a unit to put that on. It's a 13 liter Weichai. It's a spark ignited diesel. So you get the diesel block that it looks like kind of like all the equipment that you're used to using. 300 continuous horsepower, and it burns approximately around like 24 gallons an hour of propane. And this unit would qualify for almost $4,000 in incentive money. Some extra advantages of owning an operated unit, like I said, lower retail purchases. You'll kind of see the retail on a lot of these will be similar to those of the tier 3 units. Definitely if you compare them to a tier 4 unit, you're going to see a huge difference in cost. Also the cash incentives that we just went over and talked about. Maintenance is easy, affordable. I mean, parts are cheap for it. The distributor's going to stock parts, easy access to get. You know, something's down, you're going to get a part as soon as you need it. There's no waiting on getting it. We know that runtime's important, and when you need water, you need water. One benefit about using propane is, tank refueling. They got the telematics on the tank. You get below a certain level, they're automatically going to come up, refuel your tank, keep you up and going. And also don't have to worry about somebody stealing your fuel. Propane's pretty hard to run away with. Some other things, if you're into saving the environment and keeping green, the clean burning American-made fuel. You don't have to worry about spillage or contaminating water, cleanup. I mean, and the emissions that it produces is a little bit lower than some of the diesels that are out there. So this is kind of one of the big things people ask is, what's it going to cost me to run it? What's my operation cost going to be on a propane unit versus the diesel unit? So through the research at PERC and some of the things they've done, a gallon of diesel is equal to about a gallon and a half of propane. And the general rule of thumb on kind of coming up with fuel consumption is usually for every 20 horsepower on an engine, it will burn a gallon of diesel an hour. So on propane, it'll burn a gallon and a half per hour on every every 20 horsepower. And these were some numbers from last year on ag diesel versus ag propane. So it shows you where ag propane was 96 cents a gallon. With the fuel burning difference, it's like you're paying $1.44 a gallon for the fuel. So a lot of these can vary depending on the market. Obviously, the diesel fuel up and down. Right now, it's kind of low. So sometimes, you kind of think, well, it's going to burn a little bit more fuel, but as the diesel prices go up, sometimes it makes more sense to go the route of using a propane engine. So there's also an app that'll do a lot of calculations for you. Very easy to use. You can either go online to propanecostcalculator.com/irrigation, or just download it on your smartphone. You can get it on Google, or you can get it on the App Store. You can get on there, and it'll show you, what's your horsepower, how many hours of use are you going to use it. Get your initial purchase amount. Do a quote like on a new diesel tier 4 versus a propane, and then plug in your fuel dollar numbers, and then it'll tell you in the first year you're going to save X amount of dollars, and then it'll give you 5-year forecast on cost of ownership. So the first year number will factor in the purchase price of the engine plus the fuel, and then the savings over the 5 years is basically calculating your fuel savings. So just like I said, really easy, just put it on your phone, and that way if you're wanting to kind of do a quick analysis on what it's going to cost you to run one of these engines, it's a quick and easy app to give you some realistic numbers. And again, these numbers are real life numbers that have come through research on these. At the end of the slide. I know everybody's probably hungry, so we'll take us about that time to get some lunch.
So, we'll break for lunch.